I'm about to expose something that will completely shatter everything you thought you knew about money. Every single finance book you've ever read has been lying to you. Not by accident, but deliberately. And I'm going to prove it to you right now. Why would they lie? Because the truth doesn't sell books. The truth is uncomfortable. The truth requires you to completely rethink how money actually works in the real world. Stick with me for the next 10 minutes. What you're about to learn could be worth thousands, maybe even millions of dollars over your lifetime. Let's dive in. First major lie. Finance books tell you to cut out your daily coffee. Save $5 a day, they say. In 30 years, you'll have a fortune. Sounds logical, right? Wrong. Here's what they don't tell you. That math only works in a fantasy world where inflation doesn't exist. Where your income never changes. Where life never happens. In reality, cutting out small pleasures makes you miserable. And miserable people make terrible financial decisions. They burn out. They give up. They binge spend later and lose everything they saved. The wealthy don't pinch pennies on coffee. They focus on increasing their income by $10,000 instead of saving 5. Big difference. Massive difference. Second lie. Pay off all your debt as fast as possible. Dave Ramsey built an empire on this advice. Millions follow it religiously. But here's the truth. Not all debt is bad. In fact, some debt makes you richer. Wealthy people understand this. Poor people don't. Let me explain. If you have a mortgage at 3% interest, and you can invest that money at 8% instead, you're making 5% profit. That's called leverage. Finance books ignore this completely. They treat all debt like a disease. They create fear and anxiety around something that can actually build wealth. Smart investors use debt strategically. They borrow at low rates to invest at higher rates. This is how real estate empires are built. This is how businesses scale. This is how wealth compounds. Third lie. Diversification is the key to wealth. Spread your money across dozens of investments. Reduce your risk. Sounds safe, right? It is safe. That's the problem. Safety doesn't create wealth. Safety preserves wealth. Warren Buffett said it best. Diversification is protection against ignorance. It makes little sense if you know what you're doing. The wealthiest people in the world made their fortunes by going all in on one thing. Bill Gates didn't diversify into real estate and stocks. He focused on Microsoft. Jeff Bezos didn't spread himself thin. He bet everything on Amazon. Finance books give advice for the masses. Generic advice. Safe advice. Advice that keeps you comfortable but never wealthy. Fourth lie. Save 10 to 15% of your income for retirement. Do this for 40 years. You'll be fine. Let's do the actual math. If you earn $50,000 a year and save 15%, that's $7,500 annually. Over 40 years at 7% returns, you'll have about $1.5 million. Sounds good until you realize inflation will cut that in half. Your actual purchasing power will be around $750,000. Not nearly enough for a comfortable retirement. Here's what finance books won't tell you. You can't save your way to wealth. You have to earn your way there. Increasing your income by 50% is infinitely more powerful than saving an extra 5%. Successful people focus on skills. On value creation. On building businesses. On creating multiple income streams. They don't rely on compound interest alone. Fifth lie. Follow the 60-30-10 budget rule. 60% for needs. 30% for wants. 10% for savings. This advice assumes everyone has the same financial situation. The same goals. The same timeline. Completely ridiculous. A 25-year-old entrepreneur should invest 70% of their income in their business. A 60-year-old should be more conservative. Context matters. Life stage matters. Goals matter. Cookie-cutter budgets don't work. They create guilt when you don't follow them perfectly. They ignore the reality of your unique situation. Wealthy people create custom financial plans. They hire advisors. They adjust constantly. They don't follow some random percentage from a book written for millions of people. Sixth lie. Your home is your biggest asset. Buy the biggest house you can afford. Build equity. Create wealth through real estate. Your primary residence is not an asset. It's a liability. It costs you money every single month. Mortgage. Taxes. Insurance. Maintenance. Repairs. Real assets put money in your pocket. Rental properties are assets. Dividend stocks are assets. Businesses are assets. Your home? It's an expensive place to live. Finance books confuse home ownership with wealth building because it sounds good. Because people want to believe their house is making them rich. But the math tells a different story. The opportunity cost is enormous. That down payment could have been invested elsewhere, generating actual returns, creating real wealth. Instead, it's locked in your walls. Seventh lie. Work hard and save. That's the path to financial freedom. Just be patient. Good things come to those who wait. This might be the most dangerous lie of all. Because it keeps people trapped in jobs they hate. Waiting for retirement. Sacrificing their best years for some distant dream. The truth? Financial freedom comes from ownership. Owning assets. Owning businesses. Owning intellectual property. Not from trading time for money. You can work hard your entire life and still end up broke. Millions of people do exactly that. They follow the rules. They do everything right. And they still struggle. Wealthy people think differently. They buy time. They leverage other people's skills. They create systems that work without them. They build equity instead of just earning income. Now here's what finance books should tell you but never do. Money is a tool, not a goal. The goal is freedom. Options. The ability to live life on your terms. Stop optimizing for retirement at 65. Start optimizing for freedom at any age. That changes everything. Your decisions, your priorities, your entire approach. Think about passive income instead of savings. Think about equity instead of salary. Think about leverage instead of hard work alone. The system is designed to keep you working, consuming, borrowing. Repeat. Finance books are part of that system. They give you just enough knowledge to feel smart but not enough to actually break free. Real wealth building requires risk. Requires learning. Requires failure. Requires thinking differently than everyone else. That's uncomfortable. That doesn't sell millions of books. So what should you do instead? First, invest in yourself. Your skills. Your knowledge. Your network. This has the highest return of anything you can do. Second, create multiple income streams. Don't rely on one job. One source. Build redundancy. Build options. Third, use debt strategically. Not for consumption. For investment. For leverage. Understand the difference between good debt and bad debt. Fourth, focus on increasing income rather than cutting expenses. There's a limit to how much you can save. No limit to how much you can earn. Fifth, take calculated risks. Start that business. Make that investment. Learn from failure. Adjust. Try again. The people who achieve financial freedom don't follow conventional wisdom. They question it. They test it. They find what actually works in the real world. Finance books are written by people who made money selling finance books. Not by people who built actual wealth through the methods they teach. Think about that. Look at any truly wealthy person. Did they get there by following generic advice from books? Or did they do something different? Something unconventional? The answer is obvious. They created value. They took risks. They built something. They didn't just save and invest in index funds. I'm not saying traditional advice is completely useless. Basic principles matter. Spend less than you earn. Avoid consumer debt. Invest for the long term. These are foundation stones. But they're not enough. Not even close. They'll keep you comfortable. Maybe. They won't make you wealthy. They won't give you freedom. The harsh reality is this. Most people will never achieve financial freedom. Not because they can't, but because they follow the wrong advice. They trust the wrong sources. They believe the lies. You have a choice. Keep doing what everyone else does. Get the same results everyone else gets. Or think differently. Act differently. Create different results. Finance books want you to believe wealth building is complicated. That you need their 7-step system. Their special formula. Their secret method. The truth is simpler. Create value. Capture value. Reinvest value. Repeat. That's it. Everything else is details. Stop waiting for permission. Stop following rules that don't serve you. Stop believing that slow and steady wins the race. Sometimes fast and focused wins instead. The money game has changed. The old rules don't apply anymore. Pensions are gone. Job security is a myth. Inflation is eating your savings. You need a new playbook. That playbook isn't in finance books. It's in the real world. In actual results. In what actually works today. Not what worked 50 years ago. So here's my challenge to you. Question everything you've been told about money. Test it. Verify it. Find out what's actually true. Don't take my word for it. Don't take anyone's word for it. Do your own research. Make your own decisions. Build your own path. Because at the end of the day, your financial future is your responsibility. Not some authors. Not some gurus. Yours alone. The lies in finance books aren't malicious. They're just outdated. Oversimplified. Designed for the masses. You're not the masses. You're an individual with unique goals and circumstances. Treat money advice like a buffet. Take what works. Leave what doesn't. Create your own system based on your own situation. Remember this. The goal isn't to be rich. The goal is to be free. Rich is a number. Free is a feeling. Free is having options. Having time. Having control over your life. Money is just the tool that gets you there. Use it wisely. Use it strategically. Use it to build the life you actually want. Not the life some book tells you to want. That's the real truth about money. The truth finance books will never tell you. Because it doesn't fit their narrative. It doesn't support their system. But it's the truth nonetheless. Now you know. What you do with this knowledge is up to you. You can ignore it. Go back to conventional wisdom. Play it safe. Or you can use it. Apply it. Transform your financial future. The choice is yours. Choose wisely.